The screen on my phone lit up in the dim light of my Chicago apartment, showing a zero balance in my trust account. Not low, zero. My heart skipped, then hammered like it was trying to break free. I refreshed the app, thinking it was a glitch. But there it was, staring back at me, frozen. And in the transaction notes, a name that made my blood run cold, Victor Hale, listed as an authorized family representative. Victor, my mother's new husband, the man who'd slithered into our lives after Dad's death, all charm and sympathy. And now, apparently, with his hands deep in my inheritance, I slammed my laptop open, fingers flying across the keys. As a cybersecurity analyst at a downtown firm, I knew how to dig. But this wasn't some corporate hack. This was personal. Dad had left me everything. The house in the suburbs he'd renovated himself. The trust worth $2.8 million from his real estate deals. He'd been meticulous. A builder who planned every beam, every nail. Emily, he'd say, his voice gravelly from years on construction sites. Life's full of cracks. You gotta seal them before they widen. His will was airtight, notarized, with me as primary beneficiary and Mom as secondary, only if something happened to me. But Victor had found a way in. It started 18 months ago, when Dad's cancer finally won. He'd fought it quietly, stubbornly, refusing to let it slow him down until the end. The funeral in Oak Park was packed with his old crew, rough-handed guys in flannels sharing stories of jobs they'd pulled off together. Mom, Elaine, clung to me through it all, her tears soaking my shoulder. We'll be okay, I whispered, echoing Dad's words. He had made sure of it. Life insurance for her. The trust for me. It wasn't greed. It was his way of saying he trusted me to carry on. But grief hollowed Mom out. The big house echoed without Dad's booming laugh. I suggested therapy, but she found solace in a support group at the local community center. People who've lost spouses, she explained one evening over takeout. It helps to not feel alone. I nodded, glad she was trying. My job kept me buried in code, hunting digital ghosts, so I visited weekends, mowing the lawn Dad had prized, fixing leaks like he'd taught me. Then came Victor. She mentioned him casually at first, a widower, retired accountant, understands the emptiness. When I met him 4 months later, he was in Dad's kitchen, flipping pancakes with a disarming grin. Tall, silver-haired, with laugh lines that screamed trustworthiness. Emily, right? Your mom raves about your tech wizardry. His handshake was firm, eyes steady. But something pinged in my gut, the way he glanced at the family photos. Assessing. Mom bloomed around him. Laughter returned, color to her cheeks. Victor moved in after 6 months. His sedan replacing Dad's truck in the garage. Small changes crept in. Dad's tools vanished to make room for Victor's golf clubs. The den became his workspace. Mom waved it off. We're building a new chapter. Eminência. But Victor's suggestions grew bolder. That trust smart setup. But maybe we should consolidate family finances. I shut it down politely. Dad handled it. It's fine. The confrontation brewed slowly. One Sunday, I found Victor in Dad's old office. Papers strewn, copies of the trust docs. Helping Elaine sort things, he said smoothly. Families should share burdens. My voice sharpened. This isn't your burden. It's mine. His smile thinned. I'm family now, Emily. Or don't you see it that way? Mom intervened, flustered. He's just looking out for us. That night, driving back to the city, Dad's warnings echoed. Trust your instincts. Kid. Not everyone's who they seem. Weeks later, the freeze hit. I called the bank, voice steady despite the panic. The rep stuttered. A protection order from Mr. Hale. As joint overseer. Concerns about mismanagement.
Lies.
There were no joints. No concerns. I stormed the house. Key in hand, it was still mine. Deed and all. They were in the living room. Victor lounging like he owned the place. You did this, I accused. He didn't flinch. We did. Elaine worried about those big withdrawal stocks. Whatever. Emotional decisions post-loss. Mom nodded hesitantly. Victor showed me the statements.
Eminência.
We consulted a lawyer friend. Rage boiled. What lawyer? This is fraud. Victor stood.
Towering.
It's protection. Sign for joint control. And it's unfrozen. The trap snapped shut. Refuse. And I'm cut off. Agree. And he gets his cut. Mom's eyes pleaded. He's helping. Honey. But doubt flickered there. I left. Vowing war. Victor underestimated me. I wasn't just a daughter. I was a hunter of hidden threats. Back home. I mapped it out. My emergency savings. $12,000. Enough for a start. I skipped work. Met Dad's estate lawyer.
Yes.
Hargrove. This is bogus, she confirmed. No legal basis. But they've forged something. We traced it, a fake family safeguard form. Mom's signature scrawled or copied. Criminal. But rushing charges? Mom would defend him. I needed more. Hired a PI. Alex Rivera. Ex-cop with a nose for financial scams. $4,000 retainer. Predatory unions, he grunted. Scene M. Guy targets widows.
Drains in dry.
We built the dossier. Victor's entry via the group. His accounting background shady at best. Social media digs revealed his son posting about a sudden windfall trip, timed post-freeze. Linked to a new card on Mom's account. Dad's hidden cams, smart home setup I'd installed years ago. Cloud accessed. Victor didn't know. Footage showed him rifling Dad's files at midnight. Photographing docs. Gold. But we dug deeper. Alex found whispers of Victor's past, aliases. Skipped towns. He's no rookie, Alex warned. This could get ugly. As evidence mounted, isolation set in. Mom distanced. Calls curt. Victor's good for me.
Eminência.
Why fight? Friends sided with the happy couple. Whispers at work. Family drama? I pushed on. Nights blurring into code. And clues. Why my only company? Victor's mistake? Thinking I'd fold. But Dad raised a fighter. The slow burn of betrayal fueled me. Building toward the explosion I knew was coming. The smear started subtly. Like a leak you don't notice until the floor's soaked. First, a cousin's text. Heard you're giving Aunt Elaine a hard time. Let her be happy.
Then,
church friends, Mom's circle. Posting prayers for family unity, tagging me indirectly. Victor orchestrated it. Painting me as the bitter daughter obsessed with money, while he played the saintly stepdad. I ignored it at first, focused on the dig. Alex uncovered Victor's trail, a divorce in Denver 5 years back. Ex-wife claiming embezzlement. No charges, but red flags. Another in Seattle. Widow left penniless after he helped with investments. Patterns emerged. Support groups. Quick courtships. Asset grabs. Serial. Alex confirmed. Changes names slightly. Victor Hale. Victor Hall. Slippery. We needed concrete ties to my case. The cams helped. Footage of Victor meeting a sketchy lawyer buddy. Handing envelopes. Audio snippets. The girl's trust is solid. But if we freeze it, she'll cave. Mom in the background. Hesitant. Is this necessary? Victor. For us. Yes. Her complicity stung. But doubt in her voice gave hope. Publicly, I played defeated, skipped family events. Let rumors fly. Privately, fury simmered. One night, reviewing footage, I saw Victor alone, counting cash from Mom's safe. Thousands.
Siphoned.
I paused the video, his smug face frozen. Got you, I whispered. The backlash escalated. Anonymous emails to my boss. Your employee's unstable, harassing her mom. HR called me in. Personal issues affecting work? I denied. But they suggested time off. Remote work followed, isolating me further. Then, social media exploded. A Facebook group. Support Elaine and Victor. Posts, my old photos twisted. Captions like greedy daughter tearing family apart. Likes poured in. Comments vicious. She should be ashamed. Even Mom's sister, Aunt Rita,
Called.
Emily.
How could you?
Elaine's finally smiling again. It's fraud. Rita. He's a con.
She scoffed.
Victor's shown us proof. Your wild spending. Forgive. Like family should.
Click.
Alone in my apartment. Walls closing. I questioned everything. Was I paranoid?
No.
Evidence said otherwise. But the toll, sleepless nights. Weight dropping. Paranoia at every knock. Breaking point. Graffiti on my car. Money over Mom. Tires slashed. Cops shrugged. Personal dispute. Landlord hinted at eviction. Disturbing tenants. I packed essentials. Crashed at a motel. There. Phone rang. Unknown number. A reporter. Lena Torres from the Chicago Tribune. Tip about Victor Hale. You're not alone. Meet. Hesitant. I agreed. Coffee shop. Neutral ground. Lena slid a folder. Investigated him for story on elder scams. He's Jeffrey Voss, wanted in 2 states for similar cons. Photos, different names. Same face with various widows. Married 3.
Draining.
Vanished. My hands shook. He called Mom a mark in emails. Lena nodded. I've got those too from a source. We can expose him. Hargrove advised caution. Media could taint trial. But with Victor's plea deal looming, probation for misunderstanding, I was desperate. Publish, I said. The article dropped. Chicago widow targeted by serial scammer. Details blurred for legal. But enough to ignite. Fallout was swift. Victor's supporters wavered. Mom called. Voice trembling. Is this true? Check the evidence, I said. Silence. Then, I'm testifying for him. Knife twist. He loves me.
Eminência. And me?
Your daughter.
Pause.
You chose conflict over peace. She hung up. Last words for months. Emergency hearing called. Hargrove motioned new evidence. Courtroom tense. Victor's side packed. Mine sparse. First witness. Ex-wife from Denver.
Carla.
He married my mom. Forged docs. Stole $400,000.
Gasps.
Victor paled. Detective from Seattle. Fingerprints matched Jeffrey Voss. Chaos. Judge revoked bail. Pattern of deceit. I testified. Calm. Emails. Footage. The web of lies. He groomed others too, widows in Ohio. Texas. Mom's face crumpled as I read. Chicago targets hooked. Next in Miami. Betrayal hit her. Victor lunged verbally. Lies. She's framing me. But cuffs clicked. As marshals dragged him. He glared. You'll regret this. Mom approached post-hearing. Broken. Emily. I walked away. Victory tasted bitter. The house. Trust mine again. But scars ran deep. Media storm cleared my name. But trust? Shattered. In the aftermath. Silence blanketed everything. The house in Oak Park stood empty. Mom moved to a condo. Unable to face the memories. I reclaimed it. But echoes lingered. Dad's hammer strikes. Mom's laughter pre-Victor. I repainted,
Restored Dad Esteem.
but couldn't erase the invasion. Jeffrey Voss, his real name, faced federal charges. More victims surfaced, for widows.
$1,000,000.
Sentencing, 10 years. Mom annulled the marriage, bigamy. As he'd never divorced prior wives, she joined a real support group. This time for scam survivors. The met sporadically. Awkward coffees. I was blind, she'd admit. Grief made me vulnerable.
Idinot.
But forgiveness? A slow thaw. Work rebounded, promotion. Even. But I started a side gig, consulting on asset protection for families. Workshops on red flags. Legal shields. Dad's legacy, I called it. One client, a son spotting his dad's new girlfriend's schemes, echoed my fight. Saving them healed a piece of me. Yet nights brought doubts. Jeffrey's prison letter. You destroyed a family for cash. Shredded it. It wasn't cash, it was justice. But had I lost Mom forever? Our last coffee. I love you. Emily. Can we try?
Tears.
One step at a time. Rebuilding began. The community shifted. Apologies trickled. Church pastor. We failed you. Friends returned. Sheepish. But some losses stuck. Relatives who'd vilified me stayed distant. Lesson. True allies reveal in crisis. Dad's photo on my desk, him beaming at the house completion. We sealed the cracks. Dad. Strength inherited, not just money. The fight taught resilience. The cost of blindness. The power of truth. What price justice when it fractures bonds? Worth it, I decided. But the question lingers. A quiet echo in healed wounds. Wait. No, that's not the end. The story circles back. Because healing isn't linear. Months later, Mom showed at the house unannounced. Photo album in hand. Remember this? Dad teaching me to ride a bike. Laughter broke through. Perhaps bonds bend. Not break. Or do they? You decide. Actually, scratch that. The real close came unexpectedly. A call from prison Jeffrey, begging forgiveness. I was desperate. I hung up. No absolution for predators. Mom heard. Hugged me. You were right. Closure? Maybe. But vigilance remains. Trust. Once cracked, needs constant sealing. The courtroom air was thick with tension as Hargrove laid out the case. Victor, no. Jeffrey sat there. Suit rumpled. Confidence cracked. His lawyer, a slick but scrambling, objected futilely. Witnesses paraded. Carla from Denver, tearful recounting her mom's ruin. He promised security, delivered devastation. Then the detective, badge gleaming, aliases across states, Voss, Hale,
Hall.
Fingerprints don't lie. I took the stand, heart pounding but voice steady. This footage, I said. As the video played, Jeffrey sneaking,
Stealing.
murmurs rose. And these emails, target secured, assets ripe. Mom gasped, hand to mouth. Jeffrey's eyes darted. Trapped animal. Judge's gavel, bail revoked. Federal hold. As he was led away, Mom stood, whispering, "How could you?" to him. His reply, "Love made me." Cut off by doors.
Outside.
Rain pelted. Mom approached. Emily.
I.
Tears mixed with drops. Not now, I said, walking into the storm. Home. I collapsed. Sobs racking. Victory hollow without her. Weeks blended. Trust unfrozen. Plus damages. Bank apologized profusely. House mine. But I hired cleaners to erase Jeffrey's trace. Repainted walls. Dad's tools back in garage. But sleep evaded. Nightmares of betrayal. Mom's first outreach, a text. Can we talk? Coffee shop. Neutral. She looked frail. I believed him, because I needed to. Grief blinded me. I listened, anger ebbing. He turned everyone against me. She nodded. I did too. Forgive me.
Pause.
Working on it. Therapy helped mine. Then joint. Unpacking layers. Her loneliness. My protectiveness. Dad would want unity, she said. But not at truth's expense, I countered. Slow mending. Work. Back in office. Colleagues clapped. Badass, one said. Started blog anonymity, scam warnings. Grew to consultancy, seal the cracks. Clients poured. Stories mirroring mine. One widow. Thanks to you. I saw the signs.
Purpose from pain.
Community reckoning. Church service on discernment. Pastor. We erred. Siding blindly. Apologies from group members. But Aunt Rita? Silent. Losses teach. Jeffrey's trial. Guilty. 10 years. Victims testified. Including Mom, her words damning. He preyed on my weakness. Closure for her. Prison letter arrived. You won. But at what cost? Shredded. Cost high.
But worth.
Bonds rebuilt stronger. Skepticism balanced with hope. Mom moved back partially weekends. Cooking Dad's recipes. Sharing stories. Love you, she said one night. Echoed. Healing's whisper after storms roar. But question haunts, when love blinds. Who pays? Family. Always. Vigilance. The true inheritance. Rebuilding wasn't a straight line. It zigzagged through doubt and small victories. The house, once a battlefield, became sanctuary again. I installed new security, ironic. Given my job, cameras upgraded, alerts to my phone. No more blind spots. Weekends, I'd sit on the porch Dad built, coffee in hand, watching suburbia wake. Peaceful, but laced with memories of the war. Mom's transformation was gradual. After annulment, she volunteered at a fraud awareness center. If I can prevent one person, she'd trail off. Our coffees turned to dinners. One evening, she brought Dad's old letters. He warned me about being too trusting.
Tears.
I failed you both. I hugged her. We survived. Jeffrey's network unraveled. Accomplices charged, his lawyer friend disbarred. The Tribune's follow-up won awards. Exposing scam rings targeting support groups. I spoke at events anonymously at first, then openly. Listen to instincts, I'd say. Applause. But inside, the isolation scars ached. Work thrived, promotion to lead analyst. Team teased, our resident detective. But personal life? Dating? Trust issues loomed. One guy ghosted after hearing my story. Too intense.
Fair.
Aunt Rita finally called. I was wrong. Apology accepted. But distance remained. True colors shone. Jeffrey's appeal failed. From prison, another letter, pleas for mercy.
Ignored.
His son, the vacation poster, disowned him publicly. Mom and I formed traditions, Sunday drives to Dad's favorite spots. Laughter returned.
Genuine. Proud of you, she said.
Echoed Dad's words. Consultancy boomed, website. Webinars. Saved families millions. One case, daughter spotting forged docs early. You gave us tools. Reward enough. Yet nights, I'd ponder. Was it worth the fracture? Yes. Because mending made us stronger. But the ethical whisper. When does protection become destruction? Balance. Always. Mornings now started with routine. Check alerts. brew coffee, review client files. The consultancy, Legacy Shield, grew from side hustle to full venture. First client, a Boston family. Dad remarried. New wife pushing asset changes. I flew out. Presented red flags. They acted. Avoided disaster. Hero, the son emailed. No. Just experienced. Mom joined occasionally, sharing her story. I was the mark. Raw honesty bonded us with others. Group meetings turned therapeutic. Social life mended slowly. Old friends apologized over beers. We bought the narrative. Forgiven. New circle, survivors. Resilient. Dating?
Tentative.
Met Tom at a conference, fellow cybersecurity. Shared stories. He understood. Impressive fight. Trust built gradual. Family holidays. First Thanksgiving post-drama. Awkward but warm. Mom carved turkey. Toasting dad.
No Jeffrey Sado.
Jeffrey's final ploy. Lawsuit from prison. Claiming defamation. Laughed off, evidence buried it. His end. Forgotten in cell. Reflection walks in dad's garden. Plants he nurtured. Now thriving. We did. Dad. Inheritance beyond money. Courage. Wisdom. But moral quandary. Mom's happiness sacrificed for truth? Or truth enabling real happiness? Debate eternal. One night. Mom stayed over. Storm raged. Scared, she asked.
No.
We weathered worse. Hug. Bonds reforged. The story's lesson. Deceptions cost high. But truth's reward higher. What would you sacrifice for justice? The final chapter unfolded quietly. Like the calm after a hurricane. A year post-trial. I stood in Dad's study. Now mine. Sorting papers. Found a note in his handwriting. Emily. Protect what's yours, not just assets, but heart.
Tears.
He'd known. Mom moved back fully. House alive again, her gardening. My work calls. We hosted a barbecue for survivors. Laughter. Stories shared. Healing collective. Consultancy expanded, book deal offer. Sealing the cracks, surviving family fraud. Writing cathartic. Detailing without bitterness. Personal milestone. Tom proposed. You're my shield. Wedding small. Mom walking me down aisle. Joy unshadowed. Jeffrey died in prison. Heart attack. Ironic. No grief. Just closure. Mom and I traveled. Dad's dream spots. Grand Canyon. He'd love this. Bond unbreakable now. Legacy, not money. But resilience. Question lingers. In betrayal's face. Fight or forgive? Both. Perhaps. The heart decides. Years ticked by. But the echo remained. At 35. I looked back. The freeze moment catalyst for growth. Consultancy national. Helping thousands. Media interviews. How to spot predators. Empowerment. Mom. At 60. Thrived, dating cautiously. Fraud advocate. Learned from the best you. Tom and I bought a home. Started family. Daughter named after dad. Richard's spirit lives. Occasional nightmare. Victor's face. Wake. Remind. One. Final reflection. Inheritance true value? Strength to stand. Wisdom to see. Courage to act. When family turns foe, what's left? Self. And that's enough. But the haunting query, could forgiveness come sooner? Or was the fight necessary? Life's gray. You choose.